Hello. My name is Daddy-O. I do some YouTube stuff and I do some Uber and stuff. I want to address some things that I'm getting a lot of questions, and I'm going to address quite a bit of stuff here today. So if you're new here, before you make a comment, hang on to the end of the video. A lot of the questions I get asked is because someone saw the first part of the video and didn't see the end of it. Sometimes I'm going to talk about what you need to hear at the end. I'm going to go over some things today. If you're deciding to do a rental, this might help you a little bit when you go in to ask for your vehicle, because I get questions about this. I always ask for a vehicle that's eligible for comfort rides. With comfort rides, when they pop up, you're an Uber X. That's what you are. But when comfort rides pop up, those rides give you a few dollars more. They pay a little better. So by driving a vehicle that's classified and put in as a comfort vehicle, you'll make a couple more dollars when those comfort rides pop up. Little tip there, okay? And when you get your vehicle, they're going to give you the places that you're allowed to take it to for repairs, for tires, oil changes, stuff like that. Go by and visit those places. Because when you go into those places, sometimes the person that handles that is not always there. So if you can go in and go by and meet that person, in your area, I use, they have me now using, it used to be Pet Boys. Pet Boys is no longer. But now I am assigned to use Mavis and also Tire Kingdom. Tire Kingdom did the last tires. I did a video a few weeks ago about getting new tires. Tire Kingdom slapped the new tires on here. They also did the windshield wipers at the same time. So go by and meet those people, because I learned at both of those places that there's only one person that's usually there that handles that. Get their name, get a business card from them. When I need to have something done, I just pick up the phone now. They've gotten used to me. I just give them a phone call. And they'll go, hey, what's your mileage? And I'll tell them my mileage, and they'll say, we'll let you know when we get it approved. They give me a call back, say, come on down, we got it approved, and I slide by, and they do the work, and away I go again. So it's easy, but get familiar with those people if you get your rental vehicle, okay? I get questions like this: how many hours a week do I work? And I've talked about this before. My hours, I'm out here, I'm out 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes if I get a little lazy, I might hang out till 7:30, 8 o'clock before I get out here. It all depends on the day of the week. I work a certain area. I know the rhythm of the area I work in. I know what days of the week are busy. I know what times of the day are busy. I know what times I need to be signed on, because there's going to be runs running. So you learn this after you get familiar with doing Uber for a while. Done it a long while. You get familiar of the rhythm of the area you work in. So my hours as far as doing Uber changes. I'm always out here 7 days a week. My app is always on when I'm out here. I'm available for runs. I don't accept a lot of runs. I'm picky, and I've told you about this. Don't get caught up in that acceptance rate. No. Don't play that game, okay? But I'm always out here, and I'm always available for runs, and I pick and choose what runs I want. Now, last night, before I got done, was around 10:30 when I finished off last night, because sometimes in the evenings, I'm looking at those dinner runs. I'm looking at those people leaving the dinners, the high-end restaurants, going back to the high-end hotels. Because what do? They tip better. And I've told you how to work the tips. I got a tip video. Go look at it. I can tell you how to do it the way I do it. It's not, this is not available for everybody. Some places you cannot do this. And I get that question. A question here recently, asking what area do I work in? I'm not telling nobody what area I work in. Do you think I want a bunch of Uber drivers trying to work into my area, play my game? No. But if you're smart enough, you probably could have figured it out by now if you've been watching enough videos. But yeah, in the area you're going to work in, really depends on how you want to work it. So the hours that I work, I know hey, I get up and I get out. I don't have to worry about not working late. I can cut it off at 6 o'clock. I can cut it off 7 o'clock. I can cut off whenever I want to. I know certain nights here are not as busy as others, so I don't work as late on those nights. So you see what I mean? So my hours that I work doing Uber is not a lot, but I'm always available for Uber, and I pick and choose, and I run my area, and I focus on my area. There's videos on that. If you want to go watch that, go watch that. But yeah, get you a comfort vehicle. Make sure you know where you got to take your vehicle when it does have an issue, and get out and make the money. There's no reason not to. I'm trying to turn my tablet back on down here because I had something up earlier I was going to comment on, because I like I said, I get a lot of comments, and if you have any questions, if you've got any questions on how to do this, or how am I doing it, I've tried to address this in the past videos, that I don't worry about mileage. I only have to put gas in the thing and hit the button and hit my phone and turn it on and go to work when I want to work. It's the easiest way I have learned to do Uber without having to worry about it. And I've addressed this, and I'm going to talk about it again because there's some new people out here. It's the easiest way to do Uber and not have to worry about the mileage, the wear and tear on your personal vehicle. I've gone through that. I've done videos on this before, guys. When you do your own personal vehicle, you can have that $300, $400 a month payment on that nice car and everything else. But I'm gonna tell you, if you run Uber the way I do, I put miles on, and I don't run it a lot. If I was out here running the roads like some people do out here, just cranking out the miles, they offer you runs all the time. 200 miles, you're taking someone 200 miles away, 150 miles away. Those runs pop up all the time. I don't do those kind of things. But if I was doing that in my personal car all the time, yeah, you're going to crank out some. I mean, if you work a lot, you could do 100,000 miles a year on a personal car doing Uber. I did videos on this. I had a RAV4 that I put right at almost 80,000, right at 80,000, some thousand miles. I don't remember what the numbers was now. I had it wrote down. I put 80,000 miles on a vehicle in right at a year, and it was a rental. It was like the fourth rental I've had. And this is the fifth or sixth one I've had right now. I'm in right now, and I'm fixing to hopefully soon maybe get me another one, move right into another vehicle. This is a 2005, I believe it is, Hyundai. I had to think for a second, what the hell am I driving today? This is the Hyundai Tucson SUV. And if you can, get you an SUV. When you go in, I have put so much luggage, because I move people sometimes from one hotel over down to another hotel. It's a little cheaper sometimes when people want to stay a little longer. They'll move down to a cheaper hotel. I have packed luggage and golf clubs and people in here in an SUV. You can't do that in a car. So if you can, you get you a comfort SUV. That's what you want to ask for. Now, you might not get it the first time you go in there. All right, get what they'll allow you to have. Because sometimes in some of these places they may be testing you. The first couple of vehicles I got were good vehicles, but then I started getting the higher end vehicles because they got used to me and they saw that I was taking care of my vehicles. I can only assume that. I don't know, it might have been what was available at the time, but I lucked out a couple times here. And my guys that take care of me over there, I appreciate them. They're very easy to deal with. If I need something, it's pretty well taken care of. So it's not hard to do this. It's not available for everybody. I'm going to say it again. If you're one of those guys who's going to ask that question, is it available in my area? I don't know. Look on your app. Your app should be able to tell you on your Uber app if it's available in the area that you're working in. If you can use the Uber. I use Avis. I've done the videos about. I did Hertz. Went through that rigmarole. I switched over to Avis, and I've been using Avis now coming up on 3 years now. So, and I've had a vehicle all the time. I've never been without a vehicle during this period of time. Every time it was time to swap, I mean, when they got me out of the RAV4, they called me up. Well, I got an email first telling me the vehicle had been sold that I was driving. Please return it now. That was pretty much the email. It was the vehicle, the RAV4 limited all-wheel drive I was driving, was included in a sale of 100 vehicles. So I got the message saying return the vehicle now to Avis. I give them a phone call real quick, talk to my people over there, go, oh yeah, your vehicle's included in that, but don't worry about that. Bring it in next week on your regular day. Mine's on Tuesdays. That's when my rental started. Bring it in and we'll swap you out. And that's what I did. I went over there on my Tuesday, walked in there, and they swapped me into this vehicle. And I've been driving this vehicle. God, I've gotten right at 70,000 miles on this one now. And I've been driving it, 5 months now, 4 months, something like that. And when I got it, it was right at 30,000 miles on it. So I've put some miles on this vehicle. And as long as I keep making my payments, every week I make my payment. And I told you, I don't worry about that payment. If you do an Uber ride and you're working the little systems that I've tried to talk about, not teach so much, but talk about, go look at my tip video. I got a video on doing tips. I work that angle. And if you running it right and thinking that, I'll talk about it one more time. This is your storefront. This is your business. Treat it as your business. Operate your Uber as your business. You can make a success out of being an Uber driver. And my key to, and I'm telling you, is driving a newer vehicle. By driving a newer vehicle where I don't worry about how many miles I'm putting on it, where I'll get up and go to work because I don't worry about that. I get up and go to work because I don't worry about it not cranking. I get up and go because I don't worry about my business. I just make my payment just like I would if I was owning a store over here and having to pay an electric fee, or paying whatever on that business to keep it operational. They pay that bill to make more money. That's what I do. I pay a bill each week to make more money. All right. So if you can get that philosophy and understand it, you can make Uber really work for you. There's no hidden secrets, other than having a vehicle that you can go to work with. Make it simple on yourself. A lot of Uber drivers make it hard on themselves. I believe I did it in the beginning. I've been doing this 6 years now, and I'm a 5.0 Uber driver, and I can just tell you how I do it, how I've learned to do it, and what works for me. And that's all I can do. But anyway, Daddy-O's going to let you go with that. I don't want to tag you on any longer. But anyway, you guys have a good afternoon, good evening. Daddy-O out for today. Bye.